there's a quiet ache that lives in most of us, isn't there? It's not a loud, dramatic pain. It's more like a low hum in the background of your life. A whisper that says, not yet, not whole yet, not finished yet. It's the feeling of being a beautiful, intricate puzzle. But deep down, there are pieces missing. And we spend so much of our lives on a frantic treasure hunt for these missing pieces. We believe, with every cell in our body, that they hold the key. We think, if I just find the right partner, that piece will click into place and I will be whole. Or, if I just get that promotion, that specific job, then the picture will be complete and I can finally rest. We chase achievements, relationships, experiences, and spiritual highs, all in the hope of filling those empty spaces on the board. We see them as evidence of our own lack, our own failure to be complete. That empty space feels like a personal failing. It's the source of that late night anxiety, the reason you scroll through the lives of others, looking at their seemingly finished puzzles and wondering what's wrong with you. You see their perfect family photos, their career milestones, their serene vacation pictures, and the whisper inside you gets a little louder. See? They found their pieces, why can't you find yours? But here's the paradox, the beautiful, frustrating trick that reality plays on us. Sooner or later, you find one. You work hard, you manifest, you get lucky, and you find a piece that you've been searching for your entire life. You meet the person you dreamed of, and for a while, it feels like everything they said was true. The ache disappears, the hum goes quiet. You feel a sense of landing, of arrival. The puzzle piece clicks in with a satisfying snap. You are complete. For a week, for a month, maybe even a year. And then slowly, imperceptibly at first, the hum returns. The feeling of not yet creeps back in at the edges of your awareness. And when you look at the puzzle of your life, something incredible and terrifying has happened. The piece you added didn't just fill a hole. By fitting itself in, it created a new, more complex border. It revealed new empty spaces you never even knew existed before. You weren't worried about being a good enough partner when you were single. Now you are. That's a new empty space. You weren't thinking about the next step on the career ladder before you got this job. Now it's all you can see. Another empty space. The puzzle didn't get smaller. It got bigger. The horizon of your own incompleteness just expanded. And you're back on the treasure hunt. Only now, the stakes feel higher. And the feeling of frustration is deeper. Why doesn't it last? Why does every arrival just feel like a new departure point? This is the point where most people either double down, chasing the next piece with even more desperation, or they fall into a quiet despair, believing that wholeness is a myth, an impossible dream. But what if we've been looking at the whole thing backwards? What if the point isn't to fill the empty spaces? What if the empty spaces are the entire point? Think about it. A wall that is perfectly smooth, perfectly solid and complete, has no way to connect with anything. It has no doors, no windows. Nothing can get in, and nothing can get out. It's a sealed, static, dead thing. It is the openings, the gaps, the windows, the doorways that allow life to happen. It's where the light gets in, where the air moves through, where people can enter and connect. Those empty spaces are not signs of a broken wall. They are the very features that make the wall part of a living home. We've been taught to see our vulnerabilities, our longings, our unanswered questions as flaws, as mistakes in the blueprint. We try to patch them, plaster over them, and pretend they don't exist. But the architecture of reality doesn't work on perfection. It works on connection. And connection requires an opening. It requires a space for something else to fit into. That feeling of missing something isn't a signal that you are broken. It is a signal that you are open. It's an invitation. It's the universe knocking on your door. That ache you feel is not the pain of absence. It's the pull of a connection waiting to happen. It's the space where life itself, in all its mystery and intelligence, is trying to enter, to communicate, to guide you. When you feel a longing for something, it's not just coming from you. It's a call and response happening across the entire network of reality. The empty space is the receiver, waiting for the signal. It's the most active, the most vital, the most sacred part of you. It's the part of you that is still in conversation with the mystery. A finished story is over, but an unfinished one is still being written. The empty page is not a flaw in the book. It is the space for the next chapter. We've been trained to be master builders, frantically trying to finish the construction of ourselves. But our real job is to be gardeners, tending to the fertile emptiness and seeing what grows there. That aching you feel is not a weakness. It is the single greatest source of your strength, your creativity, and your capacity to connect. It is the doorway through which all of your becoming will arrive. It's the space where the magic happens. The old way of living was about solving the puzzle, achieving a static perfection. But the transformation we are all in now is about learning to live beautifully with the puzzle unfinished and to fall in love with the shape of the empty spaces. They are not absences, they are presences, the presence of infinite potential. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. Look at how things actually connect in the world. A perfectly smooth, polished sphere cannot connect with another sphere. They can only touch at an infinitesimally small point. There's no grip, no purchase, no real bond. But two gears, they mesh perfectly. Why? Because of their teeth and the gaps between them. Their so-called imperfections, their incompleteness, is what makes them functional. It's the empty space that allows the tooth of the other gear to lock in and transfer motion. Now, think about your own life. When have you truly connected with another person? Was it when you were both listing your achievements, reciting your perfect resumes? Or was it in a moment of shared vulnerability? Was it when you admitted, "I'm scared," and they replied, "Me too"? Or when you confessed, "I have no idea what I'm doing," and they laughed in relief and said, "Thank God I thought it was just me"? Those are the moments a real connection is forged. Not on the smooth, polished surfaces of our success, but in the rough, jagged, unfinished edges of our humanity. Your vulnerabilities are not bugs in your personal design. They are the very gears that allow you to connect with the world and with others. They are the handles by which life can take hold of you, and you of it. We spend so much energy trying to sand down our edges, to present a flawless surface to the world, believing it will make us more lovable, more acceptable. But in doing so, we make ourselves impossible to truly hold. We become smooth, polished spheres that can only glance off one another. This is where the true transformation begins. It's a fundamental shift in perspective. You start to see that your incompleteness is not a lack, it is your potential. Think of a seed. Is a seed an incomplete tree? No, of course not. That would be absurd. A seed is a tree in its state of pure potential. It contains the entire blueprint, every leaf and branch, but it's not yet expressed. The seed's very nature, its smallness, its hardness, its seeming lack of treeness, is precisely what allows it to do its work. It needs the emptiness of the soil, the darkness, the pressure to crack open and begin its journey. Your feelings of incompleteness, your longings, your questions, your sense of not yet are the fertile soil. They are the necessary conditions for your own growth. To be complete would mean the journey is over. It would be a static state, an endpoint. It is the tree, fully grown, just before it begins to die. But to be incomplete is to be a seed, or a sapling, or a tree still reaching for the light. Your incompleteness is a signature of life itself flowing through you. It is the engine of your becoming. So the goal isn't to frantically fill the gaps. The real work is to learn to live with them beautifully, to befriend them, to stop seeing them as horrifying voids that must be paved over, and instead begin to see them as sacred spaces. Spaces where mystery can unfold, spaces where surprises can happen. Imagine you're building a house and you intentionally leave one room completely empty. Your friends might ask, when are you going to finish this room? But you just smile because you know this room is the room of possibility. Maybe a traveller will need a place to stay. Maybe you'll discover a new passion. I need a studio. Maybe it will become a place for quiet meditation. The emptiness in it is not a lack of furniture. It is the presence of potential. This is how you can begin to live. When a relationship ends and there's a painful, empty space, the old habit is to rush to fill it with distraction or another person. The new way is to sit with the space, to honour it, to ask, what is trying to grow here now that there is room? When you feel lost in your career, that feeling is not a sign of failure. It is an opening. It is an empty field. And for the first time, you get to choose what you plant. The transformation is in this shift. You stop being an architect, desperately trying to finish a building, and you become a gardener, tending to a living, changing landscape. You don't try to eliminate the empty patches of soil. You know that's where the new seeds will go. You stop trying to finish your story, and you start taking joy in the simple, beautiful fact that it is still being written. And you are the one holding the pen. The pressure to be a finished product falls away, replaced by the quiet wonder of being a work in progress. You don't need more pieces to become whole. You just need to recognise that your current shape, with all its openings and unfinished edges, is what makes you beautiful. It's what makes you alive. It's what makes you able to connect. Those empty spaces are not your shame. They are your invitation to the universe. If this video changed something in you, write in the comments, I am a beautiful work in progress. Write it as your promise. Nobody